Hey everyone, how is everyone doing today? We're going to just do another drop in. It was not planned as always, but we're here. We are absolutely here. We're going to do a drop in. So do come in and say hi. Let me know where you are logging in from. And if you've got any questions, feel free to ask questions. Do you know, I made some conversation cards, right, for Menopause Cafe, and I'm gonna just like test them out. Hey Claire, how are you? How are you? Hope good to see you. Good to see you. Hey Just Empress. I thought I'd do a impromptu live. I was gonna do it a bit earlier, but I had to pop out to the shops. It is so cold outside. It is so cold. I actually thought it was going to be a lot colder than it is actually, but it's not too bad. Hey, thank you for the heart me. How are you, Just Empress? I'm just going to call you today. I'm going to call you actually. Just have a chit chat, like catch up. Good to see. Yeah, that. Yeah, I've made the cards are put together, and I've just got some. They are put in separate sections. So we've got light and gentle, we've got shared experiences. So something about the shared experiences is one thing I didn't expect about menopause was, so it just supports people attending the cafes to just have an open conversation about things. And it's no pressure, no pressure at all, because I don't want people to feel that when they attend these cafes they have to speak. Actually, you can just sit and listen in into conversations. So the conversation cards are there as props, or prompts to just kind of like, push the conversation along. And as I said, there's no pressure. Yeah, so I thought I'd come on and just say hi to everyone. What has everyone been up to? What has everyone been up to? But this morning, I'm sorry to hear that, Just Empress. This morning I woke up and I had quite a good sleep last night. Well, I feel I had a good sleep because I didn't wake up during the night as I usually do. Because it's usually a 2 or 3 a.m. wake up call. So I didn't wake up this morning until probably about, maybe it was after 6 the first time. And anyway, when I went to the bathroom, I just started having a light-headed feeling. I just felt a bit lightheaded. So I got up and walked. By the time I walked to the bathroom, which isn't very far, literally the floor was spinning. It was like my eyes was just rolling around in my head. It's a horrible feeling. That's the only way I can describe it. And I just thought, okay, I couldn't move. I sat there for a bit and I said, all right, hopefully it will pass, but it didn't. So I went back to bed and had a little lie down. And then I thought, well, maybe it was just, maybe my sugar levels were not correct as they should be. So I thought, okay, I'll just see how it goes and I'll take I did have ended up having a banana in the morning, which I don't normally have anything in the morning, and also I had some herbal tea and I felt slightly better. However, although the dizzy spell is slightly declined, I still didn't feel confident to drive my car anywhere. So I walked to the shops rather than drive. And yeah, I've still got slightly dizzy feeling. But I don't know what it is. I still need to take my blood sugar levels, actually. I've got the machine there. I need to go and take my blood sugar levels. I'm feeling slightly better. This room isn't spinning as much as it was this morning, but it's a lot better. But yes, welcome to the Menopause Wellness community. See, I had these panels open up since the last time, so we're just gonna have a chat. No pressure. If there's any questions around your journey, if you want to share anything, in particular. But yeah, so I posted a few things in the last couple of days, and one of the things was one thing that has helped you, even a small thing, anything that in particular has helped you navigate through your journey. Are you finding it still a challenge, or have you got it on point where everything you're experiencing, you've got it under control? Let us know. Let us know what's, if there was one magic capsule that we could all take to allow these symptoms to just disappear, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? I'm still trying. I'm still playing around with what I'm eating as well, and I'm just monitoring it a lot closer. Is this having an impact on my symptoms, or is it not? So I am playing around at the moment. I'm doing some experimenting. But yeah, welcome to the Menopause Wellness Community. So the community is a safe space, as safe as it can be on here, to be heard and understood. When we are navigating through the menopause, sometimes what can help, be a big help, is just someone to listen to you and understand you. So that's why we're here. We are literally randomly meeting up, because it used to be scheduled lives, but now we're not having scheduled lives as much as we used to. So we're just randomly, not sure when we're going to come on, but randomly meeting up to just talk about your experiences. And it's always nice to keep in touch as well. We are having a few menopause cafes opening up as well. I've got one next week in Kent, Raynham in Kent, opening up. So again, it's quite nice to meet face to face as well. And Claire's having her one soon as well. So she'll be letting everyone know the new... Oh, thank you. That is really pretty. So pretty. Thank you, thank you. That was cute. That was very cute. So I'm going to go through some of these conversation starters, right? So I put a new pack together, and these are some conversation starters. So particularly for the Menopause Cafe, when people don't know each other, okay, you can have some awkward silences sometimes. I'm one of those people that if I'm in a room with total strangers, I'm probably going to be the first one to talk. I'm like that. I'm probably going to be the first one to kind of break the ice. And not everyone's like that. So I've put some conversation starters together. And then they'll just be on the table. And so people can randomly pick them up, and just have something there to start a conversation, right? It supports you to be open and honest. And yeah, just ask questions from that. So there'll be also information there on what the cafe is about, expectations, those sort of things. So one of the sections is emotions and identity. So it talks about, asks this statement here: menopause has made me feel more. What has menopause made you feel more? Probably some people will say, I've asked this question before, some people will say more angry, more self-aware. It's different for everyone, right? It's so interesting, the different experiences everyone goes through. It's going to be different, all right? But it's important to hold on to your story. It's your truth, right? I sneezed and pushed it by accident, but yeah. Oh my goodness me. Bless you. Oh my days. What are you like? But yes, welcome to the Menopause Wellness Community, everyone. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Jackie. I'm a menopause wellness practitioner, as well as a menopause nutrition and weight loss management practitioner. Lots of, and I'm here to support. The reason why did I set up the community? Because I felt I was having a lonely journey. Okay, it was one of them things that when I embarked on my perimenopause journey, I was 42, and how I knew I was going through the menopause. I just woke up and things was different. Things felt different. It was like I was trying to get to know myself again. That's how I can describe it. It may be different for someone else. Please share, right? But I felt that I didn't feel the same anymore. Couldn't quite put my finger on it. But one of the symptoms that was definitely there, and that's why I felt that I was in my perimenopause, was the night sweats. So the night sweats came along, and yeah, they were quite aggressive. They were really aggressive, to the point where so aggressive that I would wake up during the night and have to change my bedding. That's how bad it was. And so I thought, I need to go to see the GP just to see if it is the menopause that I'm actually, or perimenopause that I was navigating through. And I just wanted confirmation. That's all I wanted, just confirmation, just for my GP to say, yes, Jackie, you are perimenopausal. But I didn't get that. I really didn't get that. And so I walked away after being told, no, you're too young. This is at 42, mind you. And yes, research shows that perimenopause typically starts around the age of 45 to 55, but it can actually be earlier. It can absolutely be earlier. And so when I went to see my GP and said, I feel I'm going through the perimenopause and the reasons why, no, he said to me, he chuckled and said, you're too young. And so I kind of went away. I mean, cut a long story short, the second time I went back, the same thing happened. The third time I went back, I felt a lot more confident in putting my foot down and saying, no, you need to listen to what I'm saying. You really need to listen to what I'm saying. And yes, I am navigating through the perimenopause right now. And these are my reasons for it. So I was given a blood test. I believe it was the FSH blood test, just to see where my hormones were. But unfortunately for me, at that time, the blood test came back, indicating that, no, there was nothing untoward with my hormone level. So again, the third time I just walked away, and I just thought, I can't keep coming back and not being listened to, because it started making me feel like maybe I was imagining things. I was probably, going crazy, maybe, I don't know. So I walked away after the third time, and then just went and educated myself a bit more, just to try and understand what the menopause is all about, what it's all about, how it's going to impact, how it may impact me, because everyone's journey is different. And educated myself a bit better, got to know my body a bit better than I did before, and also then I went and studied as well. And this is why, hence, I became a menopause wellness practitioner, as well as a menopause nutrition and weight loss management practitioner. I didn't plan this. It was just something that I fell into. I enjoy it. I really do. Sanctioned blessings. Welcome. That's how I feel now. It was a co-worker which mentioned it. Yeah, and do you know what? I'm glad you had someone to speak to, because feeling isolated in this transition of life, thank you for the heart, me. Feeling isolated in this transition of life is just, it doesn't feel good. It does not feel good at all. And so, as I said, sometimes all you need is someone to just listen to you, listen to what you're saying and understand what you're saying. They don't need to, they don't need to agree with you. You just listen and understand. That's it, the bottom line. And it makes things seem like, okay, a lot better than they are. In terms that someone's listening, someone's understanding, then you feel, okay, they're listening, they understand. Maybe then it's not all in my mind, right? That's all it takes sometimes. And this is one of the reasons why the community is here. I've set up the community so no woman, no menopause warrior needs to walk this journey alone, because it can feel very lonely. And don't get me wrong, there are days when we wake up and we don't want to be around anyone. We get that, you know. But you know that the community is there to kind of tap in and out when you feel like it. So I've opened up this panel. This panel was opened up before on the last live, actually. So if you do want to come up and have a chat, feel free, let me know, and I'll bring you up, or invite you up rather. Invite you up. Super important to be heard. Absolutely. Do you know what? I feel that us as women, we need to speak about it a bit more. We need to speak our truth and not be afraid to speak our truth. The menopause is a time in life where, you know, us as women, we are no longer equipped to have children. That is it, really, right? Our bodies are coming to the end of its time when that is no longer possible. So every woman will go through this stage. However, as we know, every woman will experience it differently. And although we have evidence-based research available to give us information on what could potentially happen, what the symptoms could potentially be, how long it could potentially last, these are all potentials because everyone will have their own journey. Yeah. Yeah, my perimenopause was 10 years of perimenopause before I actually hit menopause. Remember, menopause is one moment in that journey. So it was 10 years of perimenopause. Then there was the menopause, which was 12 consecutive months of no menstrual cycle. The day after that is menopause. That's the one day in the journey. And then once that has arrived, the day after that is postmenopause. And postmenopause, do you know what? I really felt to myself that I was quite naive at the time when I hit postmenopause, because I thought, yes, I started to rejoice because I thought, oh, I can save money on these sanitary products because let's be real, they're damn expensive. And for some reason, as time went on, my body rejected all these sanitary products apart from the most expensive one. Typical, right? So I just was I was happy that I didn't have to purchase any more sanitary products. And I thought, oh, postmenopause, it'll all be over. Really? No, not for me. At that time, as I've gone on to identify research and obviously through my training, postmenopause, what happens is our hormones start to stabilize. They start to stabilize. However, although they're stabilizing, they can still start fluctuating. So there are days when I may feel okay one day, and the next day, like this morning, out of the blue, I started feeling dizzy, and the room's spinning, and it's such a horrible feeling to the point where I wasn't confident to get in my car and drive anywhere. So I just walked today. So yeah, and I don't know when that's going to go away. I'm hoping it'll disappear tomorrow. It may be there tomorrow. We'll take it as it comes, right? So then the postmenopause, I thought, okay, maybe this will be it and it will actually stop. One thing I can be thankful for is that the double figures of my symptoms, because I was actually experiencing probably 10 or 12 symptoms in perimenopause, and then the menopause hit in postmenopause. My symptoms have gone down from 10 to 12 to 3. Now, yes, there are times when other symptoms creep in, and then they tend to disappear. I don't know. How is it for everyone else? Let me know. Thank you for the follow. Those of you who are new to the community, do let me know that you're new, but welcome. Let me know where you are logging in from. You are meant to help us women. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Lucy Lou. Do you know, I just feel that the menopause is something that, like I said, it is a life-changing, I feel it's a life-changing transition, because it's like almost you are getting to know yourself all over again. You're getting to know, you're making changes to relationships as well, whether that's friendships, whether that's intimate relationships. Thank you for the heart me. Things change. And I don't feel we should be ashamed of that. I really don't feel we should be ashamed of that. We need to walk in this journey unapologetically, and not be afraid to say, I'm having a menopause moment. It's fine. Whoever is around you, thank you for the heart me, whoever is around you just need to bear with you. But it's fine to say, look, I'm having a menopause moment right now, and you need to just give me 5 minutes. Thank you for the heart me. You need to give me 5 minutes. I'm going to try and hopefully get back on track, because sometimes, you know what, even after getting the 5 minutes, it still doesn't come back. There are times when I'm at work. For those of you who don't know what I do, as well as doing the menopause things, I am a first aid instructor. So I do a lot of first aid training and a lot of compliance training. And sometimes when I am training, oh my goodness me, the brain fog kicks my backside. It kicks my backside. And you know what? I remember everything in the mind. I don't have anything written down when I'm training. I don't really use PowerPoint information, because not for first aid training, unless it's an accredited training, I will use a PowerPoint, but I don't like to read. I'm not one of those trainers that like to read everything off the slides. So I do things from memory. And the day when I went into work and I totally forgot, not just forgot my trail of thought, but forgot what I was saying completely. It was like, what is going on? And so I just said, right, I'm going to have to look at a method to support me if that was to happen again. And I chose to, do you know what? I'm not going to apologize for it. I chose to use a checklist. So I know those prompts are there. I haven't got to the stage yet when I need to go back to PowerPoint presentations to make me remember things. But at the moment, yeah, you have to find a method what works for you, right? Because what works for you may not work for somebody else. This is a trial and error thing, right? Absolutely trial and error. Hot flushes 941. Hi, Shani Style. Welcome to the Menopause Wellness community. These hot flushes. And you know what, with hot flushes, I still experience hot flushes as well. I don't really like them, but I have identified that my hot flushes are going to come back with a vengeance if I participate in certain activities. Those activities are washing up the dishes with hot water, because I don't wash the dishes with gloves. I don't wear gloves when I wash up my dishes. I don't have a dishwasher. I don't really like them, to be honest with you. I try and use the hottest water, and my hands can take quite hot water. And when I wash up the dishes, I'm telling you, if the hot water is that hot that I will just start dripping with sweat while I'm washing up the dishes, that's what exasperates my hot flushes. Also, a hot shower. If I have a hot shower, and I love my hot showers, believe me, I love my hot showers. But you see, if I have a hot shower, my hot flushes are going to kick me in my backside. So it's trying to get to know what exasperates, what kind of will trigger your symptoms. And I didn't know this until I started tracking and just making a note, a mental note, writing it down of how my body reacts to certain things. But definitely the hot flushes. If I am in a hot environment as well, I'm going to get a hot flush. So this is why I walk with my handheld fan, even in this cold weather. If I'm in an environment where there's lots of people, lots of bodies there, then I'm going to get hot. I'm going to start having a hot flush. Yeah, it's just getting to know, and having ready at hand what's going to help you, like a fan. Hey, hot water, how are you? Hey, from Leeds. Welcome from Leeds. Who else have we got here? A massive change. It is, Lucy Lou, it can. Do you know what? And this is why I went and educated myself a bit better, because you know, when we go through life changes, do you remember back when we was a children and we went through puberty? Puberty is quite a scary, can be quite a scary transition in life. Your body's going from a child to an adolescent. It can be scary. You know, giving birth can be scary. Having an illness can be scary. Any life transition can be scary. And I feel this is why it's so important that we have opportunities like this to talk about it. Because you know what, we tend to realize that when we do openly talk about it, we realize and have that light bulb moment that we're not the only ones going through it. It's okay to be scary as well. You know, let's talk about it. Absolutely, let's talk about it. So it's a massive change. Like I said, it's exactly like, I can only describe it as we are getting to know ourselves again. Absolutely getting to know ourselves again. Getting to know our bodies again, because our bodies are dealing with us differently, right? It's almost like our bodies are doing us dirty, right? Because it is switching on us. It's absolutely switching on us. And we're trying to figure out why. We're trying to navigate through, yes, we have, our hormones are declining, they're fluctuating. Also, a big part of it is what we're eating. You know, there's these factors that I'm always talking about. The factors we'll need to take into consideration, or we may need to take into consideration, are things like genetics, are things like lifestyle, exercising. Are we moving enough? Are we eating right? Yeah. Because what's eating right to me may not be eating right to you. Are we eating right? We have to consider all these things. Our stress management. Are the stresses in life, are they having an impact on how our body's responding? Because I'm telling you, there are women in the world, across the world, even in the UK, that will say to you that I didn't experience any symptoms of the menopause. I didn't experience anything. Then, you know, I want to know their secret, because I'd love to sit down and have a long conversation with them, what their routine is like, what their diet's like. And you know, we know there's research out there that shows you that women in, you know, certain countries, they do not experience this transition of life to how some of us are experiencing it. And some of us are getting it really bad. Some of us are really getting it bad. You know, we're still going to just navigate through it. We're still going to try and embrace it as best as we can, because I find that if we're fighting against these symptoms, you know, we may not come out on top on this one. We kind of have to just embrace, and this is why I'm saying let's talk about it a bit more. Let's talk about it openly. Thank you for all the follows. Thank you for all the likes. But yeah, so we're here. As I said, we're no longer doing, I can't even remember the word. You see what you're seeing right here is the brain fog. The brain fog is kicking, and it's in real time here, because I just totally forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, it'll come back. I'm hoping it'll come back. Thank you for the follow, Pretty Donna. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the likes. Yeah, I think that we are getting a lot better to talk about this menopause. We are getting a lot better. It's mashing up my piece. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Shani. So sorry to hear that. So, you know, in terms of your business, have you, I know this sounds, have you looked at in what way is it doing that? In what way is it doing it? And what sort of support do you feel you need? Because, you know, sometimes we feel that we can do this, we can navigate this through ourselves. And yes, there is an element that we have to travel this journey alone at times, but there's so much support out there, so much support. But I'm really sorry to hear that. profiting people, and it's crazy. What do you do? What do you do, if you don't mind me asking? Pretty woman, pretty Donna, pretty woman, pretty Donna. What do you not get? What do you not get? Forgetting. Oh, right. And do you know what? It's finding a system that works for you, right? Because like I mentioned about when I got my brain fog in the middle of a training session, listen, right now, I just was honest and said, I'm having a moment. I will come back to that. And you have to now find a system that works for you. And if that means having to take out your phone and look on, a list of things that you've got or have a checklist to hand, it's okay. That's okay, because that is your system that is working for you, right? And don't apologize for it. Absolutely don't apologize for it. Lion's mane is supposed to be good for the brain fog. Unique, hi, welcome to the Menopause Wellness community. Yes, I use lion's mane. There are different forms of lion's mane. So when I went to research, and someone in the community mentioned lion's mane to me, and I went to look for it, and it was overwhelming, because there was tea, there was powder, there was tablets, there was capsules, there was latte. There's so many different forms of it. So I spent some time in the shop, and I just used my app to click on everything and see which one comes up the best. And I just started using the tea bags. And I found them that they're useful. And also the latte. I'm not a coffee drinker, but it hasn't got coffee in it. I just assume that it's got coffee in it. It hasn't got coffee in it. It's got ashwagandha, lion's mane, and there were a few other things in there as well. So I always encourage everyone, do your research, right? Do your research, because it may be that you've come across something like the lion's mane, and you find that you're going to be using the powder form. Sometimes the powder form, I'm hoping it will work for you, but it may not work for you. So you may have to swap it up with something else. When I started using the magnesium, I started using magnesium powder, and it gave me an excruciating headache within an hour of taking it. So I stopped taking it. Now I take the capsules. They're fine for me. So it's a trial and error. Goodness me, it's a trial and error. And do you know what? This trial and error thing, sometimes it's overwhelming, but you need to keep going as best as you can, because you will definitely find something that works with you. And it may be a combination of things. I use a combination of things for my brain fog, my night sweats, and my hot flushes. I find that they're getting better, and so I'm going to keep on going. It is literally a trial and error, but it's important that I am consistent with taking it also. There's no point me taking it day one, week one for 2 days, and then week two for 1 day, and then week three say it didn't work, because I was never consistent with it. So it's important for me to be consistent. I'm a hairdresser, but I forget to book. Oh, Shani. So, okay, I hear what you're saying. So I take it that if you're not booking people in, you're forgetting to book people in, then when they come to their appointment, you're not ready for them. You're not prepared for them. So they're not going to be happy, are they? That's the last thing you want, rocking up to an appointment and realizing that the person you made the appointment with didn't have. Yeah, you know what? Finding a system what works. I don't know if you have a calendar, or I don't know, just find something that works. Gone are the days where we don't use paper-based diaries anymore. Do you know what? I've still got a paper-based diary. I have a paper-based diary. I have it in my phone. I put it everywhere. That's for me. That works for me. So I don't know, maybe if a calendar up on the wall that you have booked, and it's a thing where, what I do at the moment that something comes in my mind and I say I'm going to do it, I do it there and then. I stop everything that I'm doing and I go and do it immediately, because otherwise, for me, I know that if I don't do it straight away, I'm going to probably lose it. And by an hour's time, within an hour's time, I might have lost it completely. So it's just finding what is going to work for you. Hey, sweet cheeks. Yeah, brain fog is not a joke, is it? Brain fog. I noticed that when I don't have my lion's mane, my tea, I usually have it in the morning, and I've been drinking it in the morning and evening now. Whenever I can, I will literally walk with these tea bags wherever I go. I find that the lion's mane tea helps me to the point where if I don't have it, I do notice the difference. I do notice the difference. My sentences are just all, they come out as they want to. They don't come out very well structured. Yeah, I just talk back to front sometimes. I think you women who work well. Absolutely. Absolutely. They are. Working and going through this transition as well. Yeah, absolutely. And recognize that you are amazing. Just how amazing you are. Yeah, I use magnesium capsules from Nutrition Keys and they help. That's good to hear. Fantastic. I've noticed that you're sleeping better. The thing is with me, I would say that I'm a light sleeper. The reason being is because any sound outside, I can hear it. So my bedroom faces the garden, and oh my goodness me, we have some foxes, and I don't know why they like my garden for, but they're in my garden at night time, and my goodness me, they make some sounds, and they just keep me awake. So I might be waking up 3-4 times a night. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the foxes in the garden, but they just make so much noise. It's ridiculous. Hi, Archery. Is it Arette? I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Welcome, welcome. It's good to see you again. Yeah, but do you know what? In this journey, it's about, you have to put yourself first and you have to find out what works for you. And whatever that is, whatever that will be, it is for you. Do not apologize for taking, going down the natural remedy route. Do not apologize to go down the HRT route. Whatever works for you is going to be for you. Oh my goodness me. Listen, this cognitive functioning is, yeah. I cannot even describe it. I don't know even how. If someone said to me, describe what it's like to have brain fog, I wouldn't even know how to describe it, because there are some days when my brain feels heavy. There's a heavy feeling on my brain sometimes. And there's also days when it feels like fuzzy. It's like a haze. And it just a constant fuzzy feeling. There are also days when my brain feels like there's a lot of heat in there. This is the only way I can describe it for me. Do let me know how if you're experiencing brain fog, how does it feel to you? How would you describe brain fog? There's also days when it feels like that there's a heat in my brain, like someone's turned the heat up in my brain. Yeah, but it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good at all. If it helps girls, meditation, it's trial and error. It's absolutely trial and error. I meditate sometimes as well, and you know what? I just try and capture moments of meditation. Right now, I'll be sitting down and I'll just say, right, I'm going to meditate, and I'll just close my eyes and just meditate, and I just try and capture small moments of meditation throughout the day, and just try and block all the sound out as well. But it's about what works for you, isn't it? And the thing is, you don't know what's going to work for you until you try it. This is the thing. You don't know. Meditation for me just calms me. It calms me and brings me back to the present moment. That's what it does for me. Yeah, so I had these conversation cards open. Another one of the conversation cards that I've got is a part of me that feels stronger is. So is there what part of, it's a silly question, sorry. Let's just scrap that because it's not coming out right and I'm having a don't know what I'm talking about moment. That's all right. We can have those moments. So let's just scrap that, what I just said. You see, this is what happens, This is exactly what happens. But we're going to just walk this unapologetically, right? We're not apologizing for anything. I've had a moment, and so what? I've had a moment, and so what? Let me see. Kez, how are you?
Oh, hello, hi. I'm fine. I thought I'd come and join you so you can bat off
Oh,
some
oh,
hints.
thank you. Welcome.
Plus, just to actually say that I'm what age am I now? 55,
Mm,
and I feel that I've gone through menopause,
mm.
but I never really ever heard of the word pre-menopause, perimenopause, or any of those different names
Okay.
growing up. Because all you ever heard was your parents or someone older than you talk about menopause. Oh, me menopause, me hot flushes,
Yeah.
and complaints about how they felt about their body.
Yeah.
Um, your parents, I think, or other females don't prep. They talk amongst each other, but they don't prep the younger ones for what is to come with their bodies. So
Absolutely.
when menopause crept in for me,
Mm,
well, that started with the hot flushes.
yeah.
Um, and I didn't. I just thought maybe I was unwell,
Mm,
night sweats, etc. Throughout the day, sweats, drenched,
yeah.
drenched. I thought, oh, this is brilliant. At least I'll lose some weight.
We're always trying to find a good solution out of something, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely. Um, but it doesn't prep you for what you feel about your body. And
Yeah.
when you're, especially when you're with a man and you're going through these changes, they don't get it.
Mm,
You're just going through the motion. I mean, how can you explain the hot flushes? For me, it was like one big being under a heater where you're feeling,
mm,
oh, that's really, really hot. And then next minute you've gone cold. So it's
yeah.
hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold.
Yeah.
Um, and the mood changes and the mental health changes and the vulnerability with that then because you're tearful when you're
Yeah.
going through this change that nobody taught you about.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
know, we
Yeah.
don't talk.
And this is why I feel it's so important to talk about it now. Platforms like this, and just in general, we being confident enough to talk about it openly, because there is nothing wrong with us. We are just going through this life transition that, it's going to happen. Yes, it happens differently for every woman. And if we talk about it more, we are going to be able to open doors for the younger generation, so they walk in their journey more confident than we are, you know. I just feel it's really important. But there's going to be a lot of change around employer, taking this a bit more serious and things like that as well. So we're looking forward to that happening.
Nikki said she heard of menopause and thought it only meant your period stopped. Now, I had a hysterectomy at age 26,
Okay.
so there's no periods for me. So I
Mm,
was never, I wasn't going to get the symptoms or signs that something was changing in my body. Just this change.
mm,
Um, I did get put on some patches, which I would put on on my arm.
yeah.
What I realised with the patches, I think it was the patches, didn't get on with them, so they gave me some tablets,
Mm,
um, HRT, right? But what was happening with me being on HRT was that I was like getting what they call splints, or when my muscles were tensing up, I was getting
okay.
cramp, a
Yeah.
whole lot. It was unbearable. So what I did is I come off of them, and I just haven't had anything ever since.
Right.
But for years, like I said, I'm 55 now, and a few years ago, they wanted to put me on HRT again.
Mm,
Talk like, am I intimate? Am I dry down there? Here you go. Take this as a pessary you put, which is a little tablet at the end, and you have to
mm,
poke it, put it up in your,
yeah.
insert it in your vagina,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be some combination of some tablet, and
Mm,
and now that makes you feel I don't want sex from a partner because I've got this thing that I've just put inside me, and it makes a bit of a mess. And I just felt so like, is this the price that we pay for wanting to have a natural life, but yet having to put pills or something like that one way or another? So I've learned to sort of don't want that no more.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have it all these years. So why somebody recommended it, I just went along with it. But I've been okay since. I don't have hot sweats anymore. Haven't had them for years.
That's good to hear.
Feel mine. When do you know when it's over? You see?
Right. So, I mean, you're just to explain to everyone, if you know already, then that's fantastic. But there are some of us out there who still trying to navigate around this whole menopause thing. So we've got perimenopause. Some people refer to perimenopause as premenopause. Premenopause generally starts around the age of 45 to 55. Yes, it can happen sooner. And it can be induced by things like hysterectomy, radiotherapy, chemotherapy, those sort of things as well. Typically in the UK and the US, the age is about around 51. So with perimenopause, what's some common signs of symptoms of perimenopause are things like hot flushes, brain fog, night sweats, anxiety, your mood swings. So those are some common signs. There are going to be other symptoms that are going to be under your perimenopause and menopause. So once you start navigating through your perimenopause, and it states that perimenopause can last about 4 to 8 years, but it can last longer as well. My perimenopause lasted 10 years. So once you've navigated through perimenopause, then when you hit menopause, because menopause is only actually 1 day in time. Perimenopause happens once you've had 12 consecutive months of no menstrual cycle. So after that 12th month, the day after that is actually menopause. And then once you've hit menopause, you then go into postmenopause. Now, when you research postmenopause refers to the end of the menopause. Now, that can be misleading because it is actually doesn't mean it's going to stop just like that. You don't wake up one morning and then everything just stops. What happens is your body, your hormones start to stabilize. Yes, they can still start fluctuating also, but they start to stabilize. Now, postmenopause, for some women, symptoms start to decline. For others, symptoms can remain, but so I've gone from having experiencing 12 symptoms to now only experiencing three symptoms. There are things that creep in as well. There are going to be some symptoms that creep in. That's for me, that creeps in. But postmenopause, we are now in postmenopause for the rest of our lives. So in saying that, when does it stop? Our hormones are declining, fluctuating, whether they're going to start stabilizing in postmenopause. Yeah. We're going to be in that situation for the rest of our life. So it's really important to have a look at how we can manage in terms of what we're eating, how we're sleeping, our stress management. Movement is so important. So we need to kind of look at all these things and factor those things in to support us to navigate through this transition a lot better than we are, or a lot better than we can. Does that make sense, Kez?
Oh yeah. When you said forever,
Yeah,
I thought, brilliant.
it is.
That's
And
something.
do you know what when I say it's we're in postmenopause for the rest of our lives, and when we hear that, it's like, well, how long for the rest of our lives? It is. I met a mature woman. I'm going to call her a mature woman. She was 73. She's 73 years old, and she was explaining to me some of her health conditions that she's experiencing. And one of the conditions she is experiencing time and time again is UTIs. And she consistently gets these UTIs. Her GP is giving her medication, but the medication's not working. And I couldn't help feeling, as she was speaking to me, I couldn't help wonder that is it her postmenopause? Thank you for the heart meet. Is it her postmenopause? Because we tend to feel that when we get to those mature ages, we don't need to think about our menopause anymore. But why are we stopped thinking about it? Because our hormones, they haven't changed. They're still stabilizing and fluctuating. So why are we totally dismissing that menopause is not going to be around 60s, 70s, and 80s? You still hear of women in their 60s, 70s, and 80s still experiencing hot flushes. So I think we just need to talk about it a bit more.
Yeah, I don't have hot flushes. It's been probably about 15 years where I felt normal.
That's good.
Normal again. Um, just think I don't know because I have mental ill health and suffer from, well, at times I've got mental health, should I put it that way, and suffer from depression.
Yeah.
To manage my moods, but I wonder if it's a contribution sometimes also because of the change. Because I remember my mum going through all this menopause stuff, but she was terribly tearful and highly depressed,
Yeah.
and and that's what I do see in a lot of women my age talking about their menopause and talking and watching their moods just so low.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they're thinking it's just life in general, but it is life. But they're not actually even pinpointing. Hang on a minute, what's going on in my body?
Yeah.
You know, the preparation for it. What does it mean for you? Is it more? I mean, men need to understand this. I talked about this before about menopause,
Yeah.
and I got a whole group of women to talk about their experiences about menopause. And what I felt that men needed to be educated also because it affects them too, because women are not going to be wanting to have sex the way they probably did back then, because then they're feeling sweaty and hot. It's impossible. And and if then fix the relationship, and then she's more worried also about, oh, is he going to find someone else because I'm feeling this way and I'll put off for sex? So I do feel that education as a whole can be provided to all the family, because even children need to know about changes.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have done a live on menopause and relationships, menopause and raising a family. Absolutely, there will be an impact on everyone, and I feel that you're right. Education, we need to be educated on it a lot better than we are, and I feel it starts with us experiencing it. We need to be more open with our, how we communicate about it, because yes, men do need to know about it. My husband didn't know about it until I actually had the conversation with him. It took me quite some time, probably 10 years, I'm not ashamed to say it, 10 years to sit down and speak to him about it. That was 10 years too long. Now, if we are prepared with information, then we can educate ourselves better, and then we can educate everyone else, because we don't, unless we are open about how we're feeling and how we're going to try and explain how what we're experiencing, then people are going to have that opportunity to try and to begin to understand. Because it's just mentioning brain fog and how I just explained it, everyone's going to explain it different. There are probably many people out there who don't realize that brain fog can feel like your brain is on fire, or it's heating up, it feels hazy, or you feel unwell with it. So it's really important that we communicate these things, because we're the ones experiencing it, right? We're absolutely the ones experiencing it. So yeah, I think more opportunities like this. Yes, we are going to educate ourselves better, but also let's start educating the men out there as well, because there are going to be men out there who want to know about it, genuinely know about it. And yes, we can read as much as we like about it, but actually walking in it in real life, in real time, it's not going to, the textbooks are not meeting that need at all. Yeah, so we need to be more vocal about it, definitely. Mena, hi.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I'm from
Hello.
Germany.
Oh, hi,
Nice to be
Mena.
here. Thank you very much. And menopause is a very important point for every woman.
Mm.
You know, somebody get earlier, somebody get later. I was, I think, 45 or 46, like that.
Yeah.
That I got it. Now I'm 48. So yeah, it is very interesting journey that you do as a woman.
Yes, it is interesting. I like that word to use for menopause journey. Interesting, because you
Yeah.
just don't know what's coming, how it's
As
going
next.
to, how it's going to impact you, right?
Right. Sometimes you feel that you are in sauna. Sometimes you feel that you are in Alaska.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely, right? I
Yeah.
had that the other day. I was on a live and I had a hoodie on, and
Yeah.
during the live I took it off, I put it back on again. You do. Your body is just treating you like you don't know it, right?
Right.
It's
It was very interesting experience. I was in very nice restaurant, and it's coming me was one time too hot, you know. And
yeah,
what you can do in restaurant, you can do nothing.
exactly.
I just gone in and make me refresh
Yeah.
and check on the makeup because it's too hot for
Yeah.
you in this moment. Yeah.
Absolutely. This is why I'm always talking about a menopause kit. They're just items for you throughout the day. So I always have my handheld fan, because even in this cold weather, I'm telling you, the hot flushes will come.
Yeah.
So your fan helps you. It may help you, because it may be that, sometimes I have to have two fans. So yeah, it's finding out what's going to help you navigate through your day, right?
How can I open my camera here? Is it
Your
possible?
camera. So if you here we go.
I'm not so often. Okay.
Let
Now.
me see if I can put it on here.
Yeah. Now I
there you
have.
go.
I show you something.
So sometimes you have to just find out what works for you, right? Find out how it can help you get through the day.
I have my mobile.
Oh yes. Definitely. Listen. Yeah, I've got two of them, Mena, and you have to have them. If you, I feel
you have
that
to
they
have
help.
them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you will be made crazy because
I went somewhere and I had my fan, and a man came. I was speaking to a man, and he said, "I now know why every woman's got a fan," because I said to him, "Excuse me, I'm having a hot flush moment. It's the menopause." And he looked at me and he said, "Thank you for saying that, because I now know why all these women have got fans."
You know what I done? I was in supermarket and I just searched for frozen place. You know that you can products that you can buy. I just opened the door and put my head there.
Listen, you got to do what you got to do, right? I'm telling you.
Because I don't have it with me, Dad, and it was this part. So I was it's crazy. People looking to me, I'm crazy, but it's help, you know.
Exactly. And you know what? We're not going to feel we're going to just walk this journey unapologetically. If you need to put your head in a freezer in the supermarket, then do so. Because if you don't have your fan and that's what's cooling you at that moment, go for it.
Yeah. You know? I say, if someone say to me, I say, if you haven't this problem, you will do the same. So
absolutely.
So where are you from? Are you from US?
I'm based in the UK.
Okay.
I'm based in the UK, in the Garden of England, in Kent.
Oh, nice. Yeah. My aunt living also in UK, in London.
Okay, yeah. So no, it's good to have you here.
Thank you very much.
I think it's really good that we are, speaking more and more about the menopause, and we're getting to know. Sometimes, like I said this morning, I woke up this morning and I had that dizzy spell. I haven't had one of those for quite a while. So I was thinking that it was maybe my sugar levels were low, or maybe I needed to eat something. I'm feeling a lot better now, but sometimes we just don't know. And it's really important that even though we have a list of symptoms that are can be the perimenopause, menopause, I'm going to throw in postmenopause to that as well. Just because we have these lists, right? And yes, they're evidence-based information. It doesn't mean that we have to, as women, accept that that's exactly what's going on. And I'm always saying, if we're concerned about something, if your body doesn't feel right, go and seek medical advice. Absolutely, go and seek medical advice.
Thank you very much.
But yes, no, thank you for coming up and having a chat. Thank you for coming up and having a chat. It's always nice to have the panel open, and if anyone wants to come up and have a chat, then they're free to come up and have a chat. I'm just going to check on some of these comments here because I've missed some comments and see who's here. But everyone, welcome to the Menopause Wellness community. For those of you who don't know me, I am Jackie. I am a menopause wellness practitioner as well as a menopause nutrition and weight loss management practitioner. And I didn't choose this path. I was kind of like pulled into it because I started navigating through my perimenopause at the age of 42. And I felt that I was not listened to. When I went to my GP and spoke about my thoughts on navigating through the menopause, I was turned away. I was not listened to. And I kind of felt lonely. It was such an isolating time for me. And I just don't wish that any other woman to feel that isolated, because you do start feeling that you're not, you're not well. You feel like you're imagining things. You feel like, you are going mad. I'm going to be honest. You feel like you're going crazy. And you just don't know what to do. So when you do turn to your GP and your GP is not listening to you and sends you away, what else are you going to do? So that for me pushed me to go and educate myself a lot better than I was educated at the time. And also set up this menopause, online to support other women and just to come together and listen to each other's story, because everyone's story is going to be different, right? Listen to everyone's story. You do get those light bulb moments, and actually you feel like there's kind of like a sisterhood, right, of menopause warriors navigating through and getting to know your body again and getting to know life again, living life again, because it's a life-changing transition, this absolutely life-changing transition.
It's not just that you have this problem, but you will get also weight also. You get more weight also, Doesn't matter that you eat the same thing that you eat before, because I take care of my health. I eat healthy food or all this thing. I take care of what I eat, what I not eat. But if you have menopause, you will get also overweight also,
Yeah, definitely.
But thanks God that I got this drops that I got that will help me also. And that's it's on the healthy way, no risk, and that's helped me also very good. And that was gift for me that I find that.
That's good. That's good. And it is like you don't know what's going on in your body. And this is why, for me, it was to go and get educated. What is going on? What exactly is this life transition all about? And what is to be expected? So by us, educating ourselves better, and making a way for our daughters, our nieces, our sisters, we're making a way for a path for them to be able to be prepared for.
That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than not being prepared for something. Don't get me wrong, even you can prepare and it still has an impact on you, but at least you've got the knowledge there, what may be.
Oh, I was by doctor, a woman doctor.
Yeah.
And I asked him, what's going on with my body? And the doctor said, maybe you are before menopause, maybe not, that this. I said, okay, that's maybe not helping me. So now I buy books and search in Google, search in internet and ChatGPT and everything, that I get little bit knowledge, what's going on with me.
Yeah, and this is the thing, and there's so much. I'm just reading Nikki. I don't know if you're still here, Nikki. Yes, I heard of menopause and thought it only meant your periods have stopped. Yeah, there are different stages. There are different phases of the menopause. Like I mentioned, perimenopause. Menopause is actually one day in the transition, and then you've got go into postmenopause. And then, we are in postmenopause. That's it now for the rest of our lives. And don't get me wrong, there are going to be some women out there that will tell you they've never experienced any symptom of the menopause. And you know what? I'm genuinely happy for them. Generally happy for them. There are women in other countries as well that they don't experience things, any symptoms around the menopause. And it looks, the research shows that it's the lifestyle, the diets, everything we need to take into consideration, right? Like I said before, stresses, lifestyle, movement. Movement is a big thing. Movement is a big thing because the body does not want to be keeping still all the time. We're not made to keep still. We are there to move about. Yeah. So even if we are in jobs that we are constantly on the computer for long periods of time, even to pause and then go and take a walk, so just to move for a little while, so to break up that day. But there's so much research out there around the menopause, but as long as you go to reliable sources, because there is some research out there that is misleading as well, can be misleading as well. When you look at postmenopause and look that it states that it's the end of the menopause, you automatically assume that it stops.
Right.
Your body's not just going to stop doing something just like that.
No, it's take a time.
Yeah. And even though, I have been thinking a lot about the women, the menopause warriors that are in their 70s, that are in their 80s, and they're still experiencing things like hot flushes and night sweats and brain fog, and they're not being supported around menopause because we're not thinking about, well, you've gone past. A lot of women in their older years will actually turn around and say, oh, I've passed the menopause. Well, have you actually passed the menopause?
And you will be also sensitive, like you will be very quick nervous, and you doesn't know why this word make me so nervous, stress.
Definitely.
But it's the hormone in your body. It's you learn 2 times in your life your body. First time that you in teenager time, second time in menopause time.
Yeah. And it's a big change. I was talking about that earlier on. The puberty alone, that's a massive transition. To go from a child to adolescence, that's a massive transition. Your body is doing things that you think, my gosh, what is happening? How am I going to navigate through this? It can be quite scary as well. So I feel that if we have, like someone said, it was Ken, is it Kenza? That said about education, more education out there.
Yeah.
Yes, we can have it before we start to embark on this journey. Why are we waiting until we actually start experiencing these things, until we feel that this is when we're going to get educated? Let's get educated well before to prepare ourselves for it. Because I truly believe, me personally, I truly believe that if we are looking after ourselves well through our menstrual cycles years, when we embark on the menopause years, this life-changing transition, it will be a lot smoother. It may be that there's more and more women out there that actually you hear them say, oh, I didn't experience, or I experienced very little symptoms when I navigated the menopause.
Right.
And again, it is going to be different for everyone, absolutely different for everyone. I'm just having a look at some of the comments because I've missed quite a few of these comments. I'm not going to lie, I thought no, and do you know what? This is why we have this, the community, because we all have our own perception of things, right? We all feel that, okay, this is what I know it to be. And particularly if our mothers and our grandmothers never spoke about it. I know my mother never spoke about it. Even when I ask about it now, she says that she didn't experience anything. So everyone's going to be different, right? Everyone will be different. So it's okay to feel that that's what menopause is until you get the information out. The information's out there. Until we get the information, then we can educate ourselves a bit better on it. High sanction is it? Sorry,
The name's
sanction
Karen, but
blessings.
it's Sanction Blessings. Yes.
Sanction blessings. How are you?
I'm good. I think I'm getting much better.
Yeah.
I've just embarked on the journey.
Okay.
But I didn't even know I was on the journey.
Okay.
I was getting really depressed.
Mm.
You know what? You know yourself, and you know your depression modes.
Mm.
But this was just really, I wasn't depressed. I was just really low, and I didn't have any motivation to do anything.
Yeah.
And I've got two kids, one 9 and one 13, and they're going through their phases, and I'm going through my phase, and we're butting heads more than normal. And I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah. And I hear.
And it's just been really weird. That's the best word I can come up with. It was just really weird. I walked into work and I said, I'm just feeling really out of it.
Yeah.
And I've got two older female colleagues, and they said, have you thought about you probably going through perimenopause? And I'm like, I'm not at that age. And she said to me, what age are you? And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I've actually hit that age where I'm going through this.
Yeah.
And I didn't even, it's like time passed. I didn't even know I was at this age, and now everything's happening.
Yeah. It does creep up quite quickly, isn't it? And this is the thing. Research out there shows between the ages of 45 to 55. However, it can happen sooner for some women. But and remembering when you go to your GP, I don't know if you went to your GP at any time. I came across some research that actually stated that women will typically go and see their GP 10 times before they are listened to about the menopause.
I must say, when I mentioned it to my GP, she's been really good.
That's fantastic. Fantastic to hear.
She's been really good. When I had my first child, about a year after I had a stroke, so that was like in my 30s.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, because she was talking about the HRT, and because of that, we've got to look at more natural remedies versus that.
Yeah.
Because I'm at a higher risk. So probably adding a whole bunch of medication on top of my medication now won't be ideal.
Yeah.
So 2026 hit, and I promised myself there has to be a change. I've got to do something before something happens to me.
Yeah, and that's good you're reflecting on that. And I really hope that you find what is going to work for you. And I appreciate you coming to speak your truth, because every woman will experience this journey differently. And what's nice to hear you say is that you are going to make the change. You have come to decision that you're going to make the change. It's time to make that change.
But the funny thing about this is nobody I don't know. I won't say nobody talks about it, because people are talking about it. But I think women just feel ashamed to even mention it.
Yeah.
And I went through a breakup
Mm.
I'd say about a few months ago, and I didn't understand why. And now coming to terms and getting to understand where I'm at.
Mm.
And something your first caller mentioned, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I was angry for some strange reason. I was more miserable than usual.
Yeah.
And I'm just having all these emotions, but I could not put it into words.
Yeah. It's understand. And the question is, why do we as women feel embarrassed about talking about what we're going through in terms of this transition? Is it because we feel that, you know, it's a personal thing? Is it because that we feel that it's not something that we talk about? It's not the weather, is it? So we're not going to talk about it. Is it because that our mothers, our grandmothers never spoke about it? So we've just taken on that. I don't know. Why is it?
I think it's something taboo in the public, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tabulation. It's not so open, it's not so public. And the people or maybe shame it on that, or the people doesn't like to say I'm in menopause, because if the people say I'm in menopause, the other people think, oh, you're so old.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
But
hear
I
that.
didn't think I was old.
Yeah.
45 to me is not old.
It's not. It's not. Yeah.
But
No, it's not old. I was also not old. But if you say somebody that you are in menopause, they doesn't
They're gonna
ask
think,
how old are you, but they think first thinking, but they think, oh, she's very
she's
old.
old. Yeah, that
Yeah.
she's going through it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I also I must agree that it's a generational thing as well.
Mm. Yeah.
Because my mom's in her 70s.
Mm.
And I said to her, I think I'm going through perimenopause and I'm going to the doctor.
Yeah.
And I love my mom to bits. And she's the sweetest person.
Mm.
But I realized, and again, having this, hearing people talk today,
Yeah.
is that that's all she said. She asked, are you okay? And I'm like, yes. And I'm working on how to improve.
Yeah.
But she didn't. Any insight, if you understand what I'm saying? It's like maybe she didn't understand what she was going through
Yeah, that's true.
at the time, or is going through.
Yeah.
And I know there wasn't anybody there to sort of guide her.
Yeah.
So how can she guide me if she didn't know what she was going through?
That is true. That is true. And I feel that I do agree with you about it's a generational thing. When you look back on research, I've done some research in years ago, and I cannot remember how many years ago. I must try and remember that years ago when women were navigating through their menopause, they actually got locked up in asylums. That's what happened.
Insanity.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
We're always crazy.
Yeah, and I feel that, you know, right now we've got such power as women to talk about it openly and prepare the younger generation for it, support them to prepare for it. You know, we're at such a prime time now, particularly with the employment bill kicking in, you know, with employers having to take note of their employees who are navigating through the menopause. Things are changing, and we now have a platform for our voice, you know, because I remember my mum, she never spoke about it, but I remember her referring to it as the change, and it's the same for my grandmother. Referring to it as the change. What the heck was the change? I know now. You know. So as a young woman hearing the change, I don't know what they would. I had no clue what they were talking about.
I thought menopause was you hit a certain age, your period stops, and all the stress we've had as women throughout our life stops. And then come to find out, no, it's just starting.
Yeah, it's completely different, and again, can be so scary. It absolutely can be scary, because particularly when you don't have, it's really nice to hear that your GP is fantastic. And I wish that for so many women.
Yes.
But remembering, generally GPs only get 1 hour of menopause training. And what's an hour? An hour against the whole life of, having it through midlife and the rest of our lives. An hour is no time. And this is why I'm always encouraging menopause warriors to go armed with information to their GPs, because if they do have a GP that isn't aware of things, don't be afraid to pull out the information that you got from, one of the reliable sources, and let them know that this is why I feel that I am navigating through the menopause, and these are the symptoms, and this is how it's impacting my life right now.
I also think even with the GPs, as women, I think some people prefer having a female GP. Some people have it male. It never really bothered me who I went to.
Yeah.
And I found myself requesting a female GP, and I got one, but I didn't. I think you've got to go through a few to find the person that fits for you. And I had one, and I just didn't think I was being listened to.
Yeah.
And I asked reception if, when I make an appointment, could you please not book me with that particular doctor?
Yeah.
And they booked me with a new doctor. And as I walked in, I felt the difference.
That's good.
And even though I may go for one thing, she'll ask me, how are you doing as far as the menopause and the material that I've sent you? Have you gone through it? And, even with the stroke thing, I think I went for another issue, and she said, I found the information and this is how it goes, especially if you've had the stroke. Maybe we need to look at alternatives.
Yeah.
And I think in this day and age, most people going to the GP don't feel heard at all. Yeah. You're in and out, you're shuffled about like cattle.
Yeah.
So when somebody actually listens, it makes such a big difference.
It does. It makes you feel valued. It makes you feel that they actually are genuinely concerned about your health and well-being. And you're right, GPs at the moment, they're so stretched at the moment, and this is why the 10 minutes that you are allocated with them, if it is 10 minutes, the time that you're allocated with them, go armed with information, particularly if your GP isn't one that has had more education than that hour. Because you are walking that journey, you are navigating, you are feeling it, you are living it. So they cannot tell you that, that you're not experiencing that, because this is what you... it's nice to know that you went and asked to see another GP. And again, encouraging people that if you feel that your GP is not for you, you can go and ask to see get a second opinion.
I think we're so afraid that once you've gone to one and you're always going to that one, you have to continue.
No,
and I think this is where I'm at on my journey, knowing that I don't have to settle.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
absolutely,
it has to work for me. And if it's not working for me, unfortunately, then it's just got to stop.
Yes, and I got a cheers for that. Absolutely. Yeah. It's about being that better advocate for yourself, isn't it? Yeah.
But it's funny, I'm always encouraging people to do this, but I'm just realizing I have not been doing that for myself.
Okay, so now you're doing it, right? That's fantastic.
this journey it's as I think Mina said it, it's an interesting journey.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. Do you feel that you have, because I've noticed with myself as well, I've changed. I have changed a lot. One of the things that I've changed is that I've kind of like, I've learned to say no a lot more than I used to. I don't put up with people's BS anymore.
Yes.
You do.
You know what? I watched a movie and there was this I think she was about in her 70s, and she said when you get to a certain age, you don't have to do anything anybody says. You're your own person and you do whatever you want to do. And I'm like, okay. And then I started saying no.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, especially when you've got, in essence, you've got a lot of people around you which claim to be your friends. But when you start saying no in protecting yourself,
yeah,
and your sanity, people disappear.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they don't understand where you're coming from and what you're trying to do for you.
Yeah, yeah. It's setting those boundaries, isn't it?
Yes.
You just setting boundaries is so important. It's so important. And I feel that you feel navigating through this transition, I felt a lot more stronger to set those boundaries and actually keep those boundaries in place. Rather than saying, oh, all right then, because it's you. No, but boundaries are boundaries. No matter who you are, you know, you could be my mother. You gave birth to me. I'm still setting my boundaries.
That was the hardest thing for me.
Yeah.
Because my mom's my mom.
Yeah.
And around my mom, I don't care how old I am. If she says do something, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
But I found I didn't agree with something and I said it out loud. And I realized she's my mother. I love her and I respect her, but I still need boundaries.
Absolutely. We do. We absolutely need boundaries. Hey, Nikki, how are you?
Hi. I just felt that I had to request to join on the note that what the topic that we're just talking about, boundaries, because I lost a hell of a lot of people that I thought I considered as friends during my perimenopausal journey. So just a little snapshot, and I'm just going to add something else to the mix as well. By the way, I think your channel is amazing. Your community that you've created is fantastic.
I agree.
So just as a little snapshot, in 2023, I sadly lost my mom.
And
during the grieving process, I was just an absolute mess at work. At home, I've got 2 teenagers and they were going through the teenager changes as well. So it was like a lethal cocktail, like depression, bereavement, teenagers. And it was only then that when I went to see the GP, that he suggested that some of my symptoms were linked to perimenopause. And he referred me, and thankfully at our surgery, we've got a perimenopausal nurse that solely deals with menopause.
Oh, wow.
So I was referred to her, and I think what was supposed to be a 20-minute consultation ended up being like a 45-minute one, because then I had an absolute meltdown. And it was only when she listened to me and didn't interrupt. And I was saying, well, this, the usual. I'm going through bereavement. I feel like I'm an absolute mess. I'm forgetting things. And then when I threw in the mix of my joint pains, and I just thought it was because I was run down.
Yeah.
And she held my hands and she said to me, my love, I think you're going through the perimenopause. And then that was it. I literally fell to pieces. At that time, I was 45, and I never ever thought about the perimenopause. So going back to the boundaries, I started setting boundaries and learning how to say no. And boy, did people around me not like that.
Yes, yes.
They will.
And fast forward, I mean, I say fast forward, in reality, it's a slow forward sort of thing. 2.5 years later, I'm on HRT. I'm not ashamed to say I'm on antidepressants. I've tried to wean, excuse me, I've tried to wean myself off them, but when I do, I just find myself going back into depression again.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if they're my happy pills and they keep me on a level, then so be it. I will continue taking them.
Yes.
But on a plus note, since starting this, realizing that I'm on this perimenopausal journey, I work for the emergency services, and through work, they advertised a perimenopausal support group, which was delivered by an organisation, a local organisation, and it was external to work. So I went along to that. I signed up for it. Unbeknown to me, when I entered the room, there was 2 other females from my place of work who I know. And we were like, I was like, to begin with, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be so embarrassing because I'm going to be talking about perimenopause, which was like an 8-week course. It was a weekly meetup. And it actually just taught me so much about the perimenopause.
Good.
So much so that as we left that 8-week program, the 3 of us have actually implemented a menopause support and action group for our force.
Fantastic. That's so good to hear.
We've trained to become menopause champions. We've like attended courses to be able to educate ourselves and be able to support other women within our workplace. And honestly, when I stumbled across because your phone's always listening to you, isn't it? And the algorithms kind of
agree.
throw things at you.
Yeah.
And I stumbled across your page, and I have tuned in to your lives, and honestly, they're amazing. I really applaud you so much.
Thank you.
And it's so helpful for me because things I learn on these lives, I take back and educate my colleagues as well, and able to share them with our support group.
Yeah. And this is the thing, again, you know what? I applaud you for setting up this is what we need. And the women out there that feel that they've got the voice for so many other warriors out there, this is what we need to be doing. And this is one of the reasons why the platform's here, because my voice is for everyone. I can shout loud. And this is what we need to be doing. We need to be supporting, educating each other, because the journey is, yes, it's in one way, the journey is saying that we're going to be potentially be experiencing these sort of symptoms, but until we actually experience the symptoms, we don't know the intensity of it, because it's going to be different for everyone, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Just describing symptoms, and I feel that the more information we put out there, the more of a voice we have, the more people won't be afraid to. Someone said earlier on, I can't remember if it was yourself, Frankton, I can't remember who said it, but we need to educate, particularly men, in this top subject matter. We need to be able to be open and honest about things, rather than, as I feel as women, sometimes we downplay our symptoms.
Yes. I would agree with that.
Yeah. Because we're so busy looking after our families, raising children, trying to work. When we do embark on these symptoms, we downplay it. Oh, we'll be all right tomorrow. Well, actually, we won't.
But as women, and when you've got a family and you're juggling everything, menopause, it's like a back burner thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because of how we're built to serve others.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
So we forget ourselves. And it was a friend of mine which says, you've got to do something for you. And I was like, but I've got the kids to deal with. So, yeah, but they said, but if you don't take care of you, who are going to take care of them?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you're right. We have this, women are there to serve, but it's about time we start serving ourselves, right?
That's actually one of my New Year's resolutions. Because I'm single. I've been on my own for 13 years now, and my kids were 4 and 2 when I divorced. And I've been on my own. I brought them up, and they're now 15 and 17. So for the past couple of years, I've not only been dealing with my own perimenopause symptoms, but I've also been dealing with their hormonal changes. And oh my God, has it been
It's crazy.
It's really crazy. But it's an absolute journey, and it's a learning curve. There's no manual for it. There is absolutely no manual for it. And for me, the manuals are being a part of communities like this, sharing your experiences, and actually thinking, oh my God, like I've had that. Like only earlier on, I can't remember who it was. Somebody talked about leg splints and their legs going like just giving way. And I've experienced that because one of my sort of well-being things that I do for myself is go out for my daily walks, come rain, shine, snow, wind, whatever. I will wrap up and I will go out for a walk. But when I get leg splints, I'm like, oh my God, like what is going on? I didn't know that was going to be linked to perimenopause.
I didn't know that because I've been having that, and I thought, yes, I'm a bit overweight, so therefore, things are going to start giving way. But it explains a lot based on the time frame when everything happened.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And another one, and sorry to interrupt, the other one was my sister's always complaining about itchy ears. And itchy ears is so common. And like I've even experienced that. And I'm forever got a cotton bud in my
Oh my God. That's what's recently started happening to me.
There's lists out there. I mean, in the community, we've got a list of over 90 symptoms, and it's not to overwhelm anyone. It's about raising awareness.
Awareness, yes.
But what I always say is just because the symptoms are there in black and white, it doesn't mean we have to accept them as a symptom of perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. Because if you're concerned about something, I remember we had a warrior in the community quite a while back, and she said that she has got migraines. Yes, migraine is on the list. When I look on the list, migraines are there. However, having a migraine every single day for the last 2 months is not normal.
No, it's not.
No.
So why are we then accepting that because it's on the list, it's part of the journey? No, it doesn't. Let's go and get it checked out with our GP.
Be something more than just
exactly. And she found out that she took the advice to go and see the GP, made an appointment, and she contacted me and said that it was her sinuses. So, again, these are things that we need to go and get it checked out because, yes, it's on the list. Things like itchy ears. My itchy ears, I'll tell you a story, actually. I had itchy ears. I also had tinnitus. I also had vaginal dryness and itchy downstairs as well. And you know how I got rid of it? After the itchy downstairs, it wasn't until someone in the community said that they shared their story, how they, I'm sure they wouldn't mind me sharing. I'm not going to say their name anyway. They shared the story about that they had itchy downstairs and they went to a restaurant. It was so itchy that they looked on the menu to see if there was any live yogurt so they could go and buy it and go to the bathroom. That's how bad the itchy was.
Oh, wow.
And so she ended up going to the GP and getting some cream. And so I said, right, after hearing that, although I chuckled, after hearing that, I went to I've had a consultation with the GP. And I said to them that I know it's the menopause. I just need something for it. And so I was prescribed some hydrocortisone cream. But I was told to only use it for 3 days, only for 3 days. And if it didn't go away, I should go and see the GP. I said, okay, I'm going to try it. But in the moment of trying the cream, prior to that, I started eating my avocados again, right? Those of you who've heard this story before, I apologize now, but I'm going to say it again. I started eating my avocados. I love avocados. So after using the cream for 3 days, I noticed that there was no difference. So I continued eating my avocados. And day 8 of eating my half an avocado a day, I noticed there was a difference in the itching. And I thought, okay, could it actually be the avocado? So I'd done a lot more research on avocados. I knew information about it, but I did a lot more deeper research on the avocados. And it is on the list of our foods anyway. After day 12, I noticed a more significant difference in the itching. And I said, could it be? So day 28, no itching at all. My itching of the ears, itching downstairs, the dryness, it all went. So what I do now as a given is I eat avocados every day. So whether that is as a snack or part of my meal, I will eat it every day. Even if I don't eat the avocado, because I noticed that if I didn't eat it, the itchy will kind of start coming back. But what I do now is I just use avocado oil on my skin.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I've never heard of this.
That's
I've not
worked
heard
for
this
me.
story before. And I didn't know that avocado is so like useful.
I'm telling you, go and research avocados. So now I put it on my skin. I'm not ashamed to say, I buy the avocado cooking oil. And when you look at the ingredients, it's 100% avocado oil. And I thought, right, this costs a lot of money. I'm going to get 2 for the price of 1 here. I put half of it in a bottle to use it on my skin.
It's oil.
Exactly.
Oh, that's so useful. So
now I
useful.
just use avocado. And I say to the warriors out there that if you don't like eating avocados, instead of throwing away your avocados that are going off, mash it up, use it as a facial, use it on I even shower with it. I will use it as a body wash. It's messy when you use it in the shower, but it works.
It works.
I'm telling
You do anything that works, don't you?
Exactly. You know, so that's one thing that I touch wood. I don't have any itching whatsoever now since I've had avocado as a given now.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
You're welcome. But if you've not tried avocados before, I always encourage everyone to do the skin test first anyway. Just like I always say, if you're going to try something new for the first time and you are on any medication or you have any health conditions, go and speak to your GP before you use any of those new things. And if you're trying things like multiple things, try and stagger them as well. Because if I'm using, let's say, I'm using one item for my brain fog, rather than using that item and another 2 items all together, you want to really find out what the benefits of it is. So try and use that for maybe a week or so.
Okay.
And then identify what the benefits are before introducing something else. So then you know exactly what works for what.
Okay. See, that's really interesting because I'm the sort of person, I'll be honest with you, the only thing, the sun's beaming in. The only supplement that I take is magnesium and vitamin D. And I'm the sort of person who I don't like putting pills inside me because I'm like, what is this doing to my insides? Like if I was to take, I don't know, like lion's mane and magnesium and ashwagandha or however it's pronounced, vitamin D and, collagen and everything. It's almost like I'm taking a cocktail and what's it doing to my stomach? And so for that reason, I only take, because I've got, like a lot of people, I've got a vitamin D deficiency. And I take my magnesium, which I know has helped with my sleep. Yeah. Okay. But I'm intrigued to know, I probably will try the lion's mane. Is it lion's mane that helps with the brain fog?
Yeah. So, and again, I would say that you do your due diligence. Like you said, you don't I'm like you, I don't like putting things in my body. So do your research. There are different forms of it out there because when someone in the community told me about it, I had no idea about it, and someone in the community shared their story on it, and I thought, okay, maybe I'll go and try. So what I did before I went and purchased it, I went and did research, and I use an app. I use an app that tells me if things are good or not so good.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called
Yuka,
now. Yeah,
Yuka app.
yeah, that's it.
So I went in the health food store and I scanned every single item on to do with lion's mane, and they had powder, they had tablets, they had capsules, they had tea bags, they had latte, and the only thing that came up good was the tea bags. So this is why I chose the tea bags. So I've tried them, and I noticed the difference within a day. I noticed the difference of taking them. But like I said, it's about trial and error, because you said you take magnesium. I started taking magnesium powder and it gave me an excruciating headache. So I had to stop taking the powder, and then I'm now taking capsules, which the capsules are working fine.
Yeah.
It's about being in tune with your body, isn't it? You have to be in tune with your body, don't you?
Yeah, and you have to listen to your body. You have to absolutely, if you have a reaction, you need to stop. And it's like now I've joined the gym just before Christmas. I can't like beat the January rush, but I've joined the gym before Christmas, and my PT has said, listen to your body. And if it hurts, you know, you need to stop and you need to lower your weights and so forth. And I think that's absolutely key. But on a final note, because I'm going to have to shoot for school run, is, sorry, I don't know, Sanction, I don't know your name.
It's Karen.
Karen. Yes. So self-care, I kind of touched on, one of my resolutions was like looking after myself and self-care. One of my resolutions is to every month, I'm going to do something for myself.
Good.
On my own.
Yes.
I don't care whether my teenagers are home alone. I don't care if I'm going, you know, whatever anyone says, I am doing something for myself. And I've already booked in January, February, March. And, you know, one of them is a hike I'm doing. So like, I love hiking, and I'm going on a hike on my own. So you know what? Allow yourself, and you are absolutely allowed to be selfish. Don't think about, what about this? What about my kids? Pick some times where your kids are at school. I don't know how old they are, but just allow yourself some time for just you, and love yourself and be kind to yourself.
I did book for February. I've always wanted to go and see Carmen the Opera. And it's nearby. I don't know why I'd searched for it just before Christmas. And I saw it and I was like, I have to do that. And I just booked it.
Good.
Well done. I've done that. I've done to theatres on my own, gone to concerts on my own. And I've even done holidays on my own. And people are saying, oh my God, you've come on your own. Yep.
Nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you, Jackie. As always, your lives are so informative, and thank you everyone for listening to me.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye everyone.
Bye. So it's always good to hear, you know, people's truths, their stories, and it's interesting how this journey is so different for everyone, so very different, and we all have different ways of kind of like embracing this journey. We're gonna, you know, we try and embrace it as best as we can. There are going to be other factors going on in life. Life is lifing, right? But it's important. I'm always saying, you know, we navigate this journey with power and grace. It's important to be kind to yourself. Give yourself some compassion. Give yourself some, you know, some self-love and self-care is so important. At the same time that we are, you know, thinking about what we're going to do to look after ourselves, because it's right. If we're not 100%, how can we be pouring out into others? How can we do that? You know, so it's important to have a look at those things and just take a moment to just think about, how can I look after myself a bit better than I am? Because I think historically, like you said, as women, we are, you know, society has it on us that we're there to serve and we're doing everything for everyone else and not having a moment for ourselves. Well, actually, if we are pouring out of this empty cup, it doesn't make any sense, because that empty cup, what's going to happen to it? You know?
When you have nothing in the tank, you find that those which you're serving, so your kids or your husband or your partner, everything is less. Absolutely. It's more anger. It's more, you're quick to snap at people. Even when you're cooking, the food doesn't taste right. It's just when you have nothing left to give.
Yeah, it's important. It's extremely important that you put yourself first. And I know, I get it. People say, I raised my two children, you know, they're adults now. And I've got grandchildren, and it's like, when you are saying that you're constantly doing everything for your children, you have to get to a point where you say to yourself, this has to stop, because without pouring into yourself, you're unable to pour into others with quality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, and looking after yourself first isn't selfish at all. You know, it's not selfish.
But that's how, in essence, we were brought up, that doing this is selfish because you're only thinking about yourself. But I think how they should have phrased it was that taking a moment for yourself, or whether it's going to a movie or something, like when the kids are at school, it's not selfish because you've done what you need to do for you, and then you come back refreshed, and then you can pour into those you love.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I'm just reading some of these comments. Is that the time already? I don't even know how long I've been on here. You know, it's just in the element of talking away, and I'm just missed so many comments. And someone's going to Malta. Good for you. Listen, I love to hear. But what I'm going to do, I am going to be going, and I'm going to just also thank everyone for coming up into the panel and sharing their truth. It's been a really interesting conversation, and it's been a natural conversation, right? We've just shared stories and listened into experiences, and I'm going to end the live two ways that I always end the live. The first way, I always send a virtual hug to everyone. Always send a virtual hug to everyone. And the second way is just to remind you that you are not alone. And if you do feel alone after the live has ended, reach out to somebody who you trust, someone who will listen, and someone who will most importantly understand you. You know, this is a journey that, yes, a lot of the time we feel that we have to do it solo, but platforms like this, we can, run along this journey side by side. So I'm going to wish you all to have the rest of the day. Hope it's a blessed day for you. Yeah. And I will see you soon.
Jackie, thank you for this platform. I needed it, and God know I needed it, and he brought me to you today.
That's good. I'm glad. All right. So listen, Queens, look after yourselves and put yourselves first. All right. You stay blessed, everyone. Bye.
Bye.